next, or yeah, just give me some general context, like what's going on between then and now.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I take like, I don't know, I have like a cycle where I'll like play the game for like a month or two. I think our last session was in like August, right? Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, so I took a break from like September to November. Then I grinded really hard in like December to January. And then I kind of, I don't know, then I was just sort of playing on and off. And honestly, like when I hit you up, I was sort of like I was grinding the game really hard, and honestly, like I kind of like toned it down with that. Right, I'm still playing like a good amount, like an hour or two a day, but I don't know, I'm playing a bit more casually, and I'll also like I'm on Echo, and like I've never really played Echo. I think I have like 10 hours on the hero or something.
Right.
Um, so right now I'm just like kind of trying to learn some different heroes, and I'm enjoying Echo a lot. Because before I was playing like Soj and Soj only, and
Right.
I
Right.
was climbing, but it was like I don't know, I just got bored of it. So I dropped quite a bit, and this is like a plat. I think it's plat one when I played this.
All right. Good to know. So I mean, are you like because of hero bans and whatnot? I assume again you're just gonna experiment with the characters that you want to play now, and then just go by feel. I assume because yeah, you're gonna play Echo here. Is it? Do you just play Echo now, or is there like other characters that you're experimenting
Um,
with?
yeah. So I've been messing around with like I'll still play Soj every now and then. And then I also played a good bit of Tracer this season. Some Pharah.
Right.
I played a
Right.
lot of Pharah in 6v6, and then Genji, Soldier. I Echo I've been putting a lot more focus on though. Like I've been trying to actually. The other ones are just kind of more for fun.
Yeah, I would think about that a little bit more because with hero bans coming in, I you can have you can't obviously OTP, but also I don't want you to like widen up your hero pool beyond okay, like 70% of your playtime is gonna be on Echo, but then if Echo's banned, then you know you're gonna split your playtime between five or six different characters. But I'm sure you'll be relatively okay with that. So it shouldn't be a massive concern. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll see here with Echo. What are like the strengths in your character? What are you good at, and what are you looking to do also into that comp?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I am new to here, and I'm also like I've almost all my playtime is on like Blitzcan, so I don't totally know like a lot of stuff. But I guess I don't know. I think of her more like kind of like an assassin hero. I guess like wants to kind of like get in. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I
So
go very much off of feel with this hero. I don't totally. I couldn't really give you like a textbook definition.
right, so a lot of it will like Echo's actually a pretty strong duelist, even when you're playing against characters like Genji, who are considered to be strong duelists themselves. Like you can really control an angle that's important to like where you want to play, because again, people like Genji, you can beam through his deflect. That duel should be relatively fine. And against that comp, like I guess the way I more broadly think about how you want to play it, regardless if you're playing Echo here or not, is how much mobility do I mean they might get off the sim here, but how much mobility do these guys have?
Mm, aside from the sim, not much.
Really, not much, right? They can't contest you, and that's like a really important factor to when you're playing Echo, Sojourn, Soldier, like actually any DPS character in the game, because that tells you how far you can really swing, how much or how aggressive you can really play. And of course, you don't know their comp when during the first fight here, but that essentially means if you're playing someone like maybe less so Echo because Echo's got not really got a clean escape card like Genji, but it does mean that you can play like really behind the enemy team here, and they can't really clear you out. Or like it's harder for them to clear you out compared to if they were playing Tracer Genji or Tracer Sombra or something like that, something significantly more mobile here. So that's one thing I'm really looking for you is looking for you to do is like play these what I like to call aggressive but safe angles to where sure you are this is an extremely aggressive angle, but it can also be safe depending on how you time things, depending on how you use your abilities, how you use your flights, how you use cover, how you use distance, and basically a bunch of micro. But yeah, like, this is a good start, I would say, as long as you're not scouted here, obviously. But it's something that I'm generally looking for. Of course,
Ye-
like on the micro side, we'll watch and we'll see where to get into that. Obviously, I think a lot of it's gonna come down to like flight usage in terms of A, not wasting it, B, making sure that you're sticking to like good pieces of cover, because if you get down to half HP on Echo, you're gonna need to fly away immediately and leave your space. And then the thing that's I guess, not nice about Fly compared to Dash is that Dash is instance compared on when you're playing Genji. Flight is not. So even if you get domed here, or you get down to half HP, it's going to be tough for you to rotate from like point A to point B, even with Flight. So we'll see how you manage that. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And yeah, okay. Okay. I think Sticky's there with like reasonable, useful TP. It's like whatever. I'm okay with that. Okay. I don't mind. So like it is the thing, right? So like you going away here is like I get why you can't really stay in this position. Zarya's gonna walk onto you. Like you kind of need to leave here. But this is kind of the whole point of aggressive but safe positioning. Is if Zarya, or doesn't have to be Zarya, but any really person on their team, if they want to come and force you out, they themselves are putting them in a position, or the Zarya's putting herself in a position to where she can be punished by the rest of your entire team. So I would expect when the Zarya is walking onto you that your entire team, your Ramattra, your Ana, your Juno, your Soldier to a lesser extent, are going to try and punish the Zarya for walking here. And that's something that's, again, really important to aggressive but safe positioning.
Yeah, also just a fair warning, we did get stomped like pretty hard this game.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a long game, but like it didn't.
I would not be surprised if you got stomped it, to be honest. I mean, considering the Zarya just like walked there for free, I would not be shocked. Okay. Yeah, Sticky's there kind of meaningless.
Yeah, no, I have a habit of like I try to like guess where they're going, and I get, you know, I'm kind of just gambling. But like,
Right.
I was trying to hit the Mercy there, and I was like, oh, maybe she'll fall, but
yeah, you're never gonna realistically hit Mercy here at this kind of distance, and that's like, again, that's something that's so important, not just on like Echo Stickies, but any ability in the game really. It can be like Soldier Helix or Queen Knife, or any ability like that. Like, don't gamble it. Like, you know, you can't hit the Mercy here, so don't bother. And now when you repeat the angle, when you actually want to walk up here and try and aggress with your Ramattra, like now, like Stickies would be useful here. Or like you can Sticky both the Mercy and the Hanzo, pop your beam, and then you get 2 free kills, right? Or you can Sticky these guys, beam the Zarya, you get 3 kills. So again, like that's it just kneecaps your value in the mid fight. A thing that I've seen a lot as well recently is players will use or waste resources really, really early, and it's not like they're throwing fights by doing it, but by wasting those resources early, it means that in the mid fight they won't actually have that value. They won't actually have that ability when it becomes really important to have it, and that's kind of an example there. Okay, and even the flight here, right? The flight is like so. I guess risky is one way of putting it. Like you're not gonna get punished for this realistically. But the point here being is, you could have very easily walked here, shot Zarya, beam Zarya. If you get body shot by Hanzo, then you can dash back to this cover here. Whereas now, like, a little bit of Zarya beam, a Hanzo shot, like, and maybe an Ana shot as well, and you haven't got flight, and it becomes a bit scarier. Also, you're flying out into open space, so there you go. And again, Stickies, again, kind of trivial. Okay. Fine. Like, now, Stickies would be really nice, like a second before. Where Zarya's walking up, your Ramattra's like using a shield right now. I'll talk about your cover in a moment here. But now is when Stickies become useful, because both tanks are aggressing, and it becomes actually meaningful now. But again, it's on CD, so that's sad. Another sad thing is, why do you walk this close to Zarya should be turning around and beaming you. Why do you walk in open space here where you could have just stood here and then shot Zarya behind?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I just like I go with the first thing that comes to my mind. Like I don't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a very, how do I describe it? I see tons of flex supports doing it. Like they'll see red, like the first red thing on their screen, they'll just W key towards it, and they won't really think about what's going on around them or how they're playing. Because in reality, like this Zarya is very scary, and I don't know why you just not turn around and beam you when she's getting shot behind. That's something that, again, if I was at Zarya, I'd be beaming you right. 100% be beaming you right now. And then again, that's a potentiality that you die there or get forced out really early. Again, if you're here, you're very safe, right? It's aggressive but safe. You're very safe by doing this if you're playing here. And who knows? Maybe look at that Mercy, right? That's another potential opportunity for you to close the distance, Sticky the Mercy, and then beam her. But yeah. So a little bit of tunnel on that Zarya, and again, because you're tunneled on the Zarya, you miss the Mercy, and the Stickies are also a little bit late. And then again, obviously target priority, the Mercy there would have been the ideal target to go on. Okay. Why do you leave it? Right. So again, this is another facet, right? Because if you're standing here, who on the enemy team can actually go for you right now? Like realistically, there's like 2 characters that can go on you.
I guess the Sim can, but and then
The Sim maybe, right? So maybe she can. Who else can?
I guess the Zarya is like sort of in a position too, but like I feel like it'd be pretty easy to get away from her.
It's Zarya maybe, right? Who else can reach high grounds?
Oh, Hanzo.
Hanzo, right? Are you fine in this sort of vicinity, in this kind of distance? If Sim TPs to high ground or Hanzo wall climbs up, are you fine with taking that duel?
I mean, if I have stickies in flight, like flight to get out just in case,
Yeah.
and like I don't know, Hanzo is a scary one because I feel like Echo is kind of a big hitbox, and it's like a little, I don't know, there's a high likelihood he one shots me, but that could just be like a mechanic gap, like on my part.
Right. So I think in this sort of distance here you're fine. Like I wouldn't overthink it. Like if Hanzo wall climbs up here, he's dumb. He can't I don't think he can draw his bow beforehand either, so you should be fine. And again, yeah, if you've got stickies, beam, flight, and all your CDs and your full HP, you will be okay. So if your wall comes up here, you sticky him and then fly away here if you need to. Same thing with Sim TP. Sim TP, sticky her, and then you force her to TP away or you destroy TP. Like the point here being is no one really wants to push you here. And again, if they do, they're putting themselves in a position to where they can be punished, either by you, as I just described, or by your team. So when I see you esky out here, like, it's not inefficient, but it's a missed opportunity because you're actually winning this duel against Echo right now. And I don't know if you're gonna like commit for the kill here or whatnot, but if you stayed over here, like this is pretty much a free kill. You can just destroy the Symmetra. You've got cover. She doesn't. You've got a great angle. You're within your effective range. You can beam her. You can fly away to this high gun over here, or fly away here. Probably to the first arrow. But the point being is that you've got an advantage in the duel. And then because yeah, she D-peaks, right? But if you're here, right, that doesn't happen. You beam her and then she dies. So again, it's a missed opportunity, which is unfortunate. And then you fly away immediately. Let's do this. Right, so why... Yeah, this is really another important idea. Who is looking at you right now?
No one.
No one.
Aside from the Mercy, but...
Right, but you don't care, right? So how much visual aggression are you taking right now?
Pretty much none.
None,
Unless
right?
Hanzo turns around.
Unless the Hanzo turns around. And once...
And
if
he can't really turn around in the position that he's in, I don't think.
Right. So this is a really important idea, and it again links into the whole idea about visual aggro, where the second that Hanzo turns around, then sure, fly away, leave him, one shot you, fine, I get it. But here against Mercy and Symmetra, whoever Symmetra's low by the way, you don't really need to leave it, right? So Hanzo's scary, right? You might want to de-peek it, that's fine, but you don't need to fly away here, right? You can sort of keep this position here, like, and again, if they want to come and chase you, they're wasting their time. They're putting themselves in vulnerable or punishable positions. And if they don't chase you, that's fine as well. You keep the angle. You got a really nice angle here, and then you can keep pelting them, right? And again, this is the idea I mentioned at the very beginning, where because they're so immobile, they cannot force you out. The Sim can't, Mercy can't, Hanzo can't really. Yeah, so just keep the angle here, right? Again, you can de-peek it. That's fine if you're scared about Hanzo, but unless he's chasing you, there's no need to fly. There's no need to fly away. Okay. Let's see here. Now, you gonna leave the angle? Yeah. And actually, funnily enough, by you flying out in open space, you take shots by the Ana, who's staying... I don't know why she's in spawn. But, yeah, like, you actually you put yourself in more danger there because of that. Okay, thankfully, yeah, I was gonna say double back here. Double backing here is smart. I don't mind using flight here to get back to the fight quicker, that's okay. As long as you end it on high grounds. Okay, so... This is a really old bit of Echo advice, but it's always useful, where, again, you want to treat your... Same thing with Far as well, but you want to treat your flight ability, or treat high ground as like your helipad. So when I see you fly here, I was like, okay, that's fine. You're going to fly down here, you're going to land back on high ground, like here or here, maybe here if you want to go for honor, but that's okay. Either high ground is here, it's fine, but you don't. You actually fly relatively close to the sim, which is scary. So why not go to high ground here? Or any of the high grounds in flight?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it just didn't really like occur to me in that moment. I was kind of like trying to play around the like health pack that's like back around that like alleyway.
Right. Like what, like here?
Oh,
Or
no. I mean like
oh, like
all the
over.
way around there. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
over
yeah,
here.
yeah.
And I was hoping that they would like try to like push me through there, but and then I could run to the health pack, but like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. If they do push you, that's fine. That's the fine escape path. But I wouldn't be betting on it because there's a reality where they don't chase you and they ignore you. And that's completely fine by their part as well. So I wouldn't bank on the fact that because if they do chase you, they're wasting their time. They haven't got more mobility than you. They can't really chase you here. So yeah, keep your angle here. Stick to the high grounds. And there was one other thing I was going to mention here. But I have seemingly forgotten it, sadly. Yeah, I think I was there. It was probably not that important then. But yeah, so fly is fine to get back to the fly quicker. Fine. Oh yeah, it was trigger to spin with your shots here. So yeah, how many shots do you fire here, and how many do you hit? Okay, so stickies there, a little bit again, whatever. Right, you missed most of them, and I got 7 shots here. So that one missed. 3, 4, 5. Okay, you fired 7 or 8 shots there, and you hit one of them onto the Symmetra. Right, not a great record. I would much prefer if you fired 3 or 4 shots and hit 2 or 3 of them, rather than spamming out 7 or 8 shots and only hitting one of them. So yeah, take your time, basically is what I'm saying here. Like now you could be sticking the Symmetra had you taken your time, because she's moving in a very predictable pattern. Yeah, her movement's terrible here actually. You should be hitting way more shots. She's literally moving in a straight line. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm still like the projectile stuff is like I'm really bad at it. Like I don't have much experience on like any kind of projectile heroes.
Yeah.
So like, I'm still sort of learning this stuff.
Still, yeah, this is why like when you are learning a new projectile, take your time. Like you'll get like in the future you won't have to take your time. Like you'll be able to fire shots more rapidly or more consistently. But for now, take your time to adjust to how projectiles
yeah,
and
just
Echo
be more
feel.
mindful of it.
Yeah. Okay. So that one or 2 extra shots into that Symmetra and a beam, and she's dead. But yeah. And even, hopefully you'll okay. Before I say anything, I'll watch her. You might do it. We'll see. Okay, no, you don't. Okay, so like the idea here is you don't need to leave. You don't need to leave all the way here. Again, they can't chase you, right? It's actually I don't know why this Symmetra is deciding to chase you now. Where is she? This is just ridiculously dumb. Going in, like, again, you win this duel easily against Symmetra, easily 9 times out of 10. As long as she doesn't hit her first big, like, charged orb, which she shouldn't because you've got, mobility and a fly, you should win this 9 times out of 10. So, yeah, I guess, like, why not? I mean, I get why you don't consider it, right? Because this feels dangerous to keep the space here and to duel the Symmetra. But in actuality, it's got a major like Reaper, like sort of like future effect basically on the next fight. Because if you kill that Symmetra and you keep this angle and keep this high grounds, that's gonna be a massive setup for next fight. Where the cart puts, cart's maybe over here. You can start playing these back high grounds like over here or over here maybe, and then stop pressuring the back line in the next fight. But yeah, again it's really common on Tracer to do this stuff as well, because Tracer's got even more mobility than Echo to like set yourself up for the next fight. But a bit sad that you flew the way back. And actually, I was just gonna mention it as well. By flying back here, you're not only just putting yourself at you're not only like minimizing the aggression of your own angle for next fight and ruining your setup, but you're also putting yourself at more danger, at more risk, because Hanzo can outrange you here. And you get body shot, a damage boosted body shot by Hanzo, which is scary. So, yeah, something to keep in mind for next time on Real. So, like whenever you can set up behind the enemy team for next fight, safely do so. That's scary. Okay, I think he's whatever. You'll get it back, dude. Okay, this angle here is okay, but I think I'm not sure if do this. I think Hanzo has Sonic this, so slow it down here. He's got a little, yeah, like you can see like very faintly the little Sonic effect pulse thing. Maybe if I do it at 0.25. Yeah, like it's very faint. It's hard to see. You can kind of see like this like very faint outline here.
Yeah, I see it. But
yeah.
did he? Was I in it like for the time for it to scan me, or?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because it's a fresh scan. So you went on high ground here, and if I go to high and does POV, you should be able to see you. Yeah, right, so
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit more awareness on that. It should be fairly easy to see nowadays. It got changed a while back. But yeah, now you might die to Hanzo now because he's Sonic you. We'll see here though. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of micro that goes on here, but we'll talk about it in a moment. Okay, so there's a lot that goes on there in the last 2 seconds there. But firstly, had you known Hanzo Sonic's this high ground, where do you move to?
Probably around to like the right, where that like where the mega is.
Right, so widen your angle and take the sim duel. That's really your only other option here. Because again, you can't take this angle when Hanzo's Sonic it, obviously. And you can't, there's not really like a left side angle that you can really take, because it's just too long sight line.
Yeah, I'm usually better about like dealing with the Sonic arrow, but like I think I maybe just didn't see it, or I didn't think it scanned me. So.
Yeah. Bit unfortunate there, but it is what it is. Secondly, what are the issues that go on here during this dive bomb into the Ana?
Yeah, I think it's like I'm like jumping straight at them when it's like much more effective to go from the side or from behind.
Right, so your angle's not great. I don't even think that's the main issue though. Right, so what are other main issues that are here as well? Like 3 or 4.
Whiffed everything.
Yeah, so
I mean,
Sticky's whiffed.
Aside
right?
from just, is it like multiple mechanical things or?
It's everything to do with your hero micro. So obviously the mechanical stuff, you whiffed your Stickies onto the Ana. Again, take your time. She's not even looking at you. You know, again that makes sure you can take your time. Like a piece of advice that I give the Tracer players is whenever you're set up behind and you've got Pulse Bomb, like you can take your time, because if you're behind an Ana or you're behind a Life Weaver or whoever, they're not going to be looking at you. So you can take your time, line up your crosshair, and get the hit on the pulse. And it's the same idea here with Stickies, I suppose. But yeah, that's kind of obviously one of the main things here is that you miss everything. Second thing is, do you have an escape?
I mean, I do escape here, but I probably shouldn't have.
Right.
I mean, I was thinking that area to the left, but I feel like better players maybe would punish that more easily.
Right, so why is the area to the left not great?
It's kind of a dead end, so it doesn't really lead anywhere.
Yeah, what else?
Have
you got any cover?
Well, if I get around that corner, I guess I do, but...
Alright, but it's a long ass way away, right? So this entire engagement, or this entire rotation, is in open space, basically. Or into position to where the enemy team can actually punish you. So that's also not great as well. Now, if you have flight here, and that's the third mistake, then I think that's a bit more reasonable. Because, yeah, you can, like, fly around here, right? Maybe, you know, I don't know if you can fly above this, right? But it becomes more reasonable, in other words, to, like, dash back here, get fly to here, and that's fine, right? But you haven't got flight. It's on a 3-second CD, which is not great. Like, there's no escape here, really. And then the Hanzo actually starts looking at you, and you should have died here, really. Hanzo just misses his shots. If I go to his POV, he just misses everything, which is kind of funny. It's the thing that he had Sonic arrow on you. There's 1 arrow miss, 2 arrow miss, 3 arrow. He hits that one, but he missed literally almost all of his arrows, and you get away scot-free. So against a bit of Hanzo, you will die there for sure. He gets 1 body shot here, and you're cooked. So yeah, not great. Okay. I would have just not cancelled it, but to get over the roof thing, but it's fine. Okay, better. Obviously, Ana's like AFK, so whatever. Okay. You need to fly away immediately. I could talk about your trigger discipline here and to be more patient with your shots here, but get the
engagement in the first place is what you're saying.
Say that again, sorry.
Like, are you saying like I shouldn't be fighting this Hanzo at all? Like I should have just left that character?
Yeah, it's kind of right. So like, it's just, you can do 2 things at once. You can escape while fighting the Hanzo. You can do 2 things at once. So get the kill, right? But then you've now got flight. You just took a body shot. 1 more body shot and you're dead. So fly away immediately after you get a body shot, and you can still shoot the Hanzo here while you're doing it. It's not like the 2 things are mutually exclusive. But yeah, you need to be leaving. You need to be leaving now. This guy's just whipping his arrows. That's why you're living. That is insane. You should have immediately died there. But yeah, not great. Of course, you should die here. As insane how you left that. As crazy. And that as well. Wow.
You're not coaching any flat players? This seems pretty common. I don't know.
I mean, I've never seen. I mean, that Hanzo just can't aim. Like I've seen. I just don't know, man. Like even in plat, like people will die for stuff like that. Like I've seen ridiculous things, but that Hanzo looks like gold to me or silver. He does not look like plat or high plat. Because I feel like when you start getting to that level, at least your mechanics are like decent enough to be able to like not miss like 5 different arrows at once. But yeah, that's kind of insane that you live that multiple times.
Yeah, I have another VOD if you think this one is like maybe
No,
just too random.
this is
Okay.
fine. Don't worry. Like the reason why this is still fine is because there's like tons of things to talk about anyways. Like I don't really care about
Okay.
you not dying there. Because in principle you should never be there in the first place. You know.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, oh yeah, forgot about your perks entirely. Have you like, are you like fine? I know you probably quick selected that perk. Have you got any like queries or like you know things about perks that you're concerned about or wondering which perk is best to
Um,
wear?
Not really. I mean, I know the second one is like like I pretty much always go with the more stickies just because like I'm honestly not getting that many kills with the beam anyways. Like I feel like it's kind of risky to bank off of that, so I almost always go with the more stickies. And then
Right,
the
right.
copy, if there's like someone on my team that I like to copy, I'll go that one. But otherwise, I'll default to like the more time with the ultimate.
Yeah, so like I think the flight thing is really useful for dive bombing. So like literally in that fight there, say you had that flight perk, you would have killed that Honor immediately, and then you can dash away immediately to the high grounds. Like it's very in and out. It's kind of how that flight perk really works. I think it's really underrated. I think it's people that don't like thinking about it too much. Whereas again, you just get more damage with stickies, so people think it's just it's better. But if you hit most of your stickies anyways, it shouldn't be a massive concern.
Yeah.
So I would at least try the flight perk. Again, I haven't seen that much echo in pro play, so I don't know what the pros are really using that much. But from what I know, most people are actually picking the flight perk. From what I've seen
Oh, really?
in the past, so I would experiment with the flight perk. In terms of
Yeah.
your
I'm just like the sticky one is just easier.
it's also yeah,
I'm still kind of like getting a hang on the
it's
heroes.
simpler,
So
easier, yeah. And it sort of rectifies for cases where you missed most of your stickies. You just have more stickies to shoot. Um, but yeah, your duplicate one is like comp dependent, so that'll just depend on the map. Not the map, sorry, but the comp really. Like if you're playing with Amalga, please pick the friendly imaging perk. That one is so free. Duplicate Amalga is insane, but barring that, like either one's fine here really. Like duplicate Zara is still pretty decent. Duplicate On is pretty fucking broken. The other one's fine, but then also duplicate Remarch is pretty good as well. So yeah, I don't really mind which one you would have wanted to go for here. I think the extended one is again reasonable, but yeah. Okay, we'll see here. Okay. So yeah, look at this flight here. Okay. Where or how should you be flying? What do you think about those flights?
probably would have been better to like go to the left, like going over like this. I'm like trying to like I'm pretty sure what's happening here in my mind is like I'm trying to like full sticky Donna and get like a really lucky kill, hoping she's just like standing there.
Right,
But
right. But she's not. She's like 10 trillion years away. So
yeah, but it's like realistically that's like a 1% chance that happens. Well, it's like I could have just gone with like the guaranteed choice of like going into
right.
the
So
room.
here's
Like
the thing. So like even if the honor was stacked on top of her Hanzo, which honestly most honors will be, I still think this is not a great, not an amazing flight. Mainly because you have. I mean, you can kind of escape back down this angle here. I guess it's not too bad doing it, but I guess my main point here being is that you've got a better angle by going through here, canceling your flight, and then sticking whoever you really want here. To be honest, and then again you've got flight to like dash away if you need to. But yeah, I think that's all relatively fine here. Like, you can see like how scared you are like peeking forward here. I know the arm's playing back here. Oh god, this is risky as hell. And that's when like again, if you want the extra like flight refresh, maybe you focusing beam this Mercy who's low, and then you get that flight again. Again, you just dash away back to high ground, and then you're way safer. So yeah. Okay, we'll see you next fight. Okay.
yeah, actually before we get into more of the VOD, I kind of have a question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not really like I don't know. I'm sure we could like go over like just like this game related stuff like and that would be useful to me, but also like I do like I've had like a couple probably like 4 different coaching sessions where like a lot of stuff is pointed out to me and it seems like fairly obvious when I'm just like looking through the VOD. But it's like we're really like when I'm in the game, like I feel like I'm just not able to think.
Right.
Um
So yeah, the easiest. So I'm glad you said that because it's people will always alter. I get this all the fucking time. Like people will say, "Oh yeah, like I know the mistakes I'm making, but when I'm playing the game, I don't know how to actually like fix it or like work on it practically in the actual game." it's something that back over back over on first point as well. Oh yeah, now this is like the actual thing I was thinking of, like forgetting. Basically, whenever you have downtime, there's like two things. The first one is you need to be asking yourself questions when you're playing the game. The reason is because questions inherently require you to think about the game. So if you're thinking, the questions that you could be asking yourself, for example, is who do I go on here? Or who do I go on? Or where do I move to? Is like a really common one that I give players, because that one's like that one implies that you're thinking about the aggression of the enemy team. That implies that you're thinking about the distance of that you're playing. It implies that you're thinking about how safe the position you are is playing. So that's when I always say to players is always ask yourself, where do I move to, and why? Because had you done that here, you probably would have came up with a solution that, hey, you know what? I don't actually need to leave this angle, or hey, I can actually stay here, or hey, I don't actually need to fly over the bridge, and I can actually keep this angle here, and I can actually do the symmetra. So that stuff is really important. The second one is, well, when do I ask myself those questions? And that comes into downtime. So thankfully, whenever you're playing a dive character, so Genji, Echo, Doom, Ball, Winston, Diva, there is always, Tracer as well, there is always downtime on the character. That's whether that's recalling on Tracer, after you've just used Flight on Echo, or when you're dashing out as Echo. It could be when you're deflecting out as Genji. It could be when you're slamming out as Doomfist. It could be when you're jumping out as Winston. It could be when you're flying out as Diva. It could be all kinds of things. Whenever there's downtime, nothing is going on. You've got nothing mechanical to think about. So whenever you're AFK on this angle, or let's say you're flying away from Symmetra, or maybe Zarya is beaming you and you're flying away like we saw earlier, like that's all downtime because you're not doing anything mechanical. You haven't got to worry about hitting your shots. You haven't got to worry about hitting your beam. You haven't got to worry about any of that shit. All you have to worry about is positionally, where do I move to? What's my next move? Who do I go on? That kind of questioning, right? It's broader
Right, so like
decision making.
setting up and like getting out, that's like the time.
Exactly, right? Right, like even in that pre-fight day, like literally, where was it? Like when you got out, basically. So, oh, this is a bit beyond that. Like literally right now, you're doing fuck all. Like you need to be asking yourself these questions because you're not doing anything. You're AFK on a stairway looking at stairs. So like this is like downtime, you know. And you know, once you start thinking about this stuff, that's really important. And you can also be thinking about as well your escapes here too. Like, okay, I'm gonna fly over here. I'm gonna do stuff here to people, and then I'm gonna dash back here if I need to, or I'm gonna do stuff to people here, and then maybe rotate here as well. That's a good rotation that I could do. Or maybe I've got that flight perk, right? Maybe I can dive bomb over here, get a quick a dive kill, get a quick focusing beam kill, then dash back, and I'm okay. Stuff like that, right? Like that's all stuff you could be thinking of when you're AFK. And also, when you can also be thinking about this stuff with your duplicates, right? You could be pressing tab right now and thinking to yourself, okay, I've got duplicate. Here's a key target that I want to duplicate. Maybe I dash, or I can fly really aggressively, duplicate Ana when I see her, press E on the enemy team, i.e. my nade, and then win the fight. And it's just that easy. It's like everything is done. All your thinking is done in the pre-fight, really. And then in the mid-fight, you're focusing on your mechanics, right? You're focusing on the micro of your character. That's all fine. But yeah, that's like practically how you get better. Because right now, I can guarantee you, you're not thinking of shits. You're just AFK doing whatever, going through the motions. But this is the important part of like actually doing it. There's also a third thing as well I'll mention now, which is like focusing on like specific matchups. So for example, if you were playing against Genji, for example, and you lost a duel to a Genji, I would give you some advice of like, hey, this is how you use your flight against Genji, or hey, this is how this is your win condition when playing against Genji, which is to get him to half HP, or whatever I say. Then next time you duel a Genji, you will automatically think of that because the Genji is essentially your visual cue of being like, okay, next time I'm in a match and I'm dueling a Genji, this is what I'm gonna do. Because you know you're building that sort of that muscle memory, so to say, whenever you're doing a Genji. So that's something else you can do as well. But that's more for like specific matchups or I guess bite-sized tips or advice in specific maps or comps or situations. But yeah, even what I said at the beginning, right? Like whenever you're playing against an immobile comp, this is how you should play. This is how you should position. you should play a lot more aggressively and be willing to hold more aggressive but safe angles because they can't really chase you. You shouldn't really be flying back to your team. Like, that's practical advice that you can go into the next game of ranked and being like, okay, they can't chase me. They're running Hanzo Sim. They're running Life Reaver Hanzo fucking Kiriko. They can't chase me. Or they're running what's another immobile backline, like Zen Baptiste or like Zen Honor, or Hanzo's like a really common one. But you get the point, right? So that's kind of the idea. There's like 3 things there, right? Basically. So yeah. That's how you beat autopilot, basically, and that's how you start thinking about this stuff in your actual games.
Yeah. In addition to that, it's also just like I get like overwhelmed like very easily. Like I remember like I think the 2 games prior to this, I was probably being like a lot more active.
Yeah, that's another common thing as well. Whenever especially when you're learning out a new hero, because there's just so much to learn. With again the micro and whatnot. Like, there's so many things I could talk about with how you engage, like the dive bomb here onto the honor. Like, there was so many things that were wrong with that. I guess like the easiest thing to prevent feeling overwhelmed is a similar bit of advice that I give to tracer players, because there's a lot of micro tracer, which is whenever you start panicking or whenever you start I guess panicking is really the only word I can think of. Whenever you start panicking, then all your micro goes out the window. So the easiest way is to prevent panic is to take your time and simply use cover, use distance. I legitimately wouldn't have minded if you just AFK'd on the high ground, shot honor, tried to land your stickies, and then hey, if Hanzo comes onto you, you shift away. You're fine, right? You can escape that. That was another thing as well, the Hanzo thing. But it makes your micro easier if you just take time, play distance, and play cover, rather than having to do this like elaborate, sticky beam combo thing in open space and worry about 1,000 different factors. So take your time, use cover is kind of the best thing I'd say with that, with learning the micro of your character slowly. Again, similar to what I alluded to here, back on this fight here against the Symmetra. Like, take your time basically and keep distance, and you'll be okay. All right, we'll see next fights, or maybe this is the fight. Yeah. Okay, let's see this next fight. Now duplicate. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is really why. Okay, so what's the issue here?
I'm trying to figure out where I'm actually, like, what I was actually doing here. I mean, I am just kind of leaving a space that I don't really need to leave.
Yes, right. You don't need to leave it.
I really can't remember why I did this, but.
And not to mention, there's a big fat sonic arrow that hits the doorway here that you fly straight into, which, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe like I thought because I remember that happening, and I guess I thought that it had like already passed, but maybe like the radius of it is like longer than I think it is, or like the duration of when it's.
Yeah, like if you're here, he can't see you if you're playing where you are right now. He just can't see you. But when you dash into it, you can. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought it had ended, which is why I dashed into it.
Yeah, the big fat sonic thing is most visible when it first hits a surface. Is when it was well.
But it goes on longer than that, is what you're saying.
But yeah, when the sonic arrow like hits a character or it hits a wall or a surface, then you'll see the big sort of radius glowy effect thing. And then I think it sort of emanates afterwards. But
Okay.
yeah. Obviously you can see it's very clear here. The second it hits the wall, it's very clear, and it lights up the room. So yeah. Okay, let's see here.
Let's put a stop to that.
Okay, right, and yeah, it just sucks because you could have AFK'd here. Like, less is more. AFK, you sticky this Hanzo and he's just dead. Right? There's not even any micro I can talk about there. He's gone. He's evaporated. But yeah, really unfortunate that's a missed opportunity there. Okay, I mean, still get the kill, so I mean, Soja did most of the heavy lifting there, to be honest. So we'll see now. Okay, Margo's running in. Okay, Sim is feeding. Fine. Fine. Sure. And Marcy is just, what is she doing? Okay. Duplicate's fine. 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 Yeah, so I'm not sure, you just probably didn't realize how low you were on Zarya. Like, you were not 1,000 HP. I don't know why I still see this, but people think they've still got tank HP when they duplicate tanks.
Yeah, that's another thing is I have maybe like if you look at my career profile, I have like 2,000 games on DPS and then like 50 on every other role combined.
Yeah. It's I mean, still, I guess, still think of it like you are playing a DPS. I mean, funnily enough, your bubbles here are great. Like, your bubbles here are better than what I see for most actual Zarya players. So the bubbles here aren't the issue. It's really, again, how aggressive you're playing. So just like AFK, it's not AFK, but swing the corner, play defensively, beam the Zarya, force her out, and then you can get grab. But yeah. Okay. Okay. So where should he fly back to?
Probably over the roof.
Yeah.
Or like back to the like little, I don't know what that thing is, but the stairs lead up into like the little room.
Or like over here.
Like to yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I right now either one's actually fine. To be honest, you can let your Malga walk and then you can play like defensively. That's fine. But again, also you can use this angle and no one's gonna come for you. Like no one's as long as you keep your distance. Like I know there's no cover here, right? But as long as you keep your distance against the Zarya, you can force out the Ana by shooting at her. That shouldn't be a concern. And obviously no one else is really here to use this angle. Yeah, you can like fly over here, maybe play the boxes here, get in a good angle, maybe get the mega if you take any damage. That kind of stuff's all reasonable. Yeah, that's what should have been done here. But again, dash back main and actually go into the grab dragon. Somehow you live that. I think because the orbs were ready. That's insane. And the Biotic field. But yeah, you get very fortunate there. Okay. Nice awareness there on Hanzo. Nice. Honestly, I don't mind you dying there. I think the trade is worth it to get the Hanzo out of that position. Okay with that. You will be fine because it's one advantage. And okay, now we're back. Great. So save it there towards the end until into the Hanzo. Now we'll see. Again, like now we'll be thinking like this is all like stuff you can do, whatever, right? But like again, now it's like okay, you're thinking about what angles you want to hold, where you want to path through. Maybe there's a fight where you might, again, depending on where your Malga plays, you could even hide like in this little room over here, wait for them to walk past, and then sticky anyone who comes underneath here. But that's all stuff that you can definitely do. So yeah, we'll see how you move here. Okay. Get up here. Okay. Sure. Okay, go back to high grounds. Now we're in a great position. This is good. Okay. Sure. I don't mind that. So a little bit of sloppy micro there, but in terms of your positioning, I think this is actually fairly okay. Like, again, you're playing an angle if I zoom out here. Like, look how, first off, look how stacked they are. Like, this is insanely stacked right now. Like, they have no control over the side ground, right? And if the sim does want to push you, or your soldier, again, you can do what you are doing here. It's all reasonable. Again, the only thing here is just a slight patience with your shots here and slight patience with the stickies. But barring that, like, this is actually relatively okay. I guess another thing here as well is your distance management. So, if you want to punish Sim, that's fine. But where can you move to?
Probably to the left. Like
Right.
that way, it's like her strafes are like easier to hit.
Right. So again, going left there makes sense because you got more cover, and against Sim specifically, you can outdistance her beam by backing the fuck up or dropping off the high ground here.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you just have more distance, right? Because if I go to your POV, right, look how close you are to that beam. And that is kind of spooky. Now, fortunately, the soldier gets nano boosted, and this person is very tunneled on killing your soldier. But if you're smart enough to switch target priority, now you're looking a little bit cooked because you're very close to a high charge sim without flight. So yeah, something to bear in mind there, specifically against them, obviously. Okay, we'll force us. Okay. Okay, you see some people going left side. Don't waste flight here. Really good angle. Okay, you go in the Hanzo here.
Yeah, I don't think I saw the Ana maybe.
I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't have seen the Ana here because...
Or it was just green. I wanted to kill the Hanzo. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't even provide an explanation for that one. Yeah, maybe it is greed, right? God, I don't even know.
I think what I was probably thinking was like the Ana was too far away for me to realistically get a kill on her without flying, and then like and the Hanzo I don't know. He's like close enough to where realistically I could kill him, even though I might die for it, and I just decided to go.
Right. So that's probably why, because I would agree with you the Hanzo is probably the more killable target out of the Ana and the Hanzo. I would probably agree with that. But I guess my concern here is that the Ana is very dangerous to you specifically, mainly because of Sleep Dart. So how or some ways you can outplay Sleep? There's like 2 ways you can do it. There's like a simple way and there's like 1 way you can do it with your flight. That's a bit out of the box. But what's how can you outplay Sleep Dart here?
I mean, I guess it might be better to like go from up top rather than through the
Right,
door.
right.
That's like that's quite a bit more difficult to hit for the Ana.
Right, so flying over here, she's probably not going to expect this, right? She's probably going to start healing her Hanzo. You can sort of like, again, fly over here, get a really nice angle onto the Ana. You have all the time in the world, like imagine. Like, right about now, oh my days, that's the freest kill of your career. Like, you fly right now over to the top left, and then boom, Ana's cooked, and then you can catch the Hanzo afterwards. So, again, that's a potential missed opportunity. The other one is a bit simpler, is just LOS out the Ana. Right? Just LOS out the Ana and stand here and hope the Hanzo peeks you. Or you can jiggle peek the Ana like this and then de-peek it like here. You see, you still keep your flight. You can still poke the Hanzo. You can still, again, annoy the Ana and make this Ana stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Do I look at the Echo, who's pressuring me here? Or do I look at my Hanzo, who needs help down main? Right? Which of the 2 of there do I want to pick between? But honestly, either the juggle peek here or flying over here. Either one's fine. I say this is probably the better one of the 2 options, but the actual angle you're at right now is kind of the key thing to do here. So you're still gonna get good value for this as long as you don't get slapped. Or okay, maybe you didn't even just get slapped. You just got 3 shot by Ana. And had 0 consideration for her. And again, this is like, I'm not. She probably wasted Sleep Dart here. Probably that's why she didn't sleep you. But this kind of consideration is, again, reminiscent of tunnel vision, of you not considering or caring enough about how dangerous that Ana can be, and then you tunneling straight onto their Hanzo here because of that. So again, broaden your perspective, right? Like, ask yourself, can I go on the Hanzo here safely? Can I, like, if Ana was like stacked onto if Ana was like literally right here to our Hanzo, this is actually reasonable what you're doing here. This is actually perfectly fine. But she's not, right? You need to care the Sleep Dart and care her general damage, and then A2 of course. So yeah. Another thing with this flight too.
Yeah, I probably should have like bounced with it instead of like just. Or was that it? Or
oh yeah, I was just gonna say here. I'm not sure if it would have saved your life, but you could have probably maybe flown over here, and then she can't peek you without again going into open space. It becomes awkward for her to peek, so maybe that could help as well. But yeah, that's kind of the main thing there. Is again, can I go on this Hanzo safely? Is the bottom line, really, to be honest. Or the key takeaway from that. But yeah. Okay, we'll see here.
Advancing upward.
Okay. Right. Okay. Sure. So, I mean, this is just unfortunate. She nails herself here, so that's a bit unfortunate. But the actual timing of the aggression is good. Like, your Malga's going in right now. Everyone's looking at your Malga. The flight counter's okay. You've got cover to use. You've got the roof as well. That's okay. So, micro-wise, so far, so good. I'm okay with this. Rotation, I think is good as well. What's my main concern here now, though? What are my 2 issues with this position?
I don't know. It's just tough when she's nanoed. Like, I feel like there's not a great way out of here. Like, I pretty much have to run here. Like, I can't kill her.
Right. So, there's 2 issues with this sort of position that I see. The first one is, again, the distance. Why are we so close to Ana here? You don't need to be this close. She can nade herself and hit you by proxy. Like hit you accidentally because of how close she's playing. Or how close you are playing to her right now. The second one is cover. Right? There's nothing to be... You're using cover here nicely. Why not drop it like over here? Right? You still got a great angle, got good distance, got good cover to use. If she turns on you, fine. You can just try and back up and go for the mega, right? Like, those are considerations that you need to be considering. You could even go over here. Go over here. Same kind of idea, right? A bit more distance, good cover usage, retreat path right to the mini, right? And maybe, who knows, you can fly over here, right? And try and get a pick here. Or maybe you can stay here if your team loses the fight still, right? So, again, macro-wise, from a broader perspective, I like the angle. The flank's great. It's well-timed. That's great. And the stickies are actually fairly good as well, right? But it's the distance and the cover that I'm worried about mostly here. Yeah, like I've never watched this game, and I could have already told you this was gonna happen just by how close you were playing. She probably didn't even mean to hit you with the nade, to be honest. But yeah, not great. And sad too, because your angle there was actually great. It was actually a really good angle. But yeah. Okay, let's see here. Okay, your team has lost that, sadly. Okay, we'll see here. Okay. Again, why do we need to leave here? We'll go back. Oh, do we need to fly back main here?
I guess not. No.
No. Right. So Zarya, damage boost to Zarya, fine. You probably need to fly away here, right? But you can fly back over here. Zarya's the only person you can see. There's no scary hands peeking you right now. You can fly back over here and then keep a good. This is still a good angle to use, by the way. Still a good angle, while still actually, you know, threatening anyone who wants to come and push you here.
Yeah, I do kind of have. I have like a habit of like I just like if I know I'm in an unsafe position and I can't like, and if I don't think of anywhere else to go, I'll just go back to where my like tank and supports are, or, like back to where my team is.
And it's counterintuitive, or not? It's counterintuitive, right? Or it's like a counterproductive is the word I was looking for. Where you going back main here puts you in the sightline of Symmetra spam, of Zarya right clicks, of Hanzo spam, of random bullshit nades from the Ana. Like, you will take damage here without even needing or meaning to intend it. Because of you flying back main.
Yeah,
And
so
again,
I guess that's not like always a safe option then.
yeah, right. And yeah, we even saw that on back and first point, where again you flew away from the Symmetra, took a body shot, a damage boosted body shot by the Hanzo, and could have very easily staggered out your team there. Whereas the safer option would have been to actually duel the Symmetra and keep the flank. And again, that would have given you benefits for the next preceding fight afterwards. So yeah. Okay. And again, the key, I guess, query or the key question is, if I can't hold this safely, where's the next safe place I can play? You know, like again, it's the aggressive but safe idea is like the key permeating, I guess, idea in terms of how you're moving with flight. Especially in the pre-fight or in the post-fight. Okay, we'll see here. My stickies are a little bit, I guess, not mistimed, but a little bit rushed. Rushed the word I wanted to use. Yeah, so it's gonna take a time, and you're a little bit far away as well, right? So whatever. Okay. And yeah, you just and now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? And funnily enough, again, had you been here, like this never happens. You haven't got to worry about this bullshit. So yeah, really unfortunate. How do you lift that? Oh wow.
I think it's like healing pad.
Yeah, unironically, yeah. Okay, let's get out. Now it's fine to go back here because there's no angle that you can retreat to safely. So going back here is fine. Okay. Spooky. Yeah, again, I'm not sure the Sonic arrow. You need to be paying attention to the glow. So there's a red glow to the right side here, right? Again, that tells you there's a spooky Sonic arrow, and I think that I saw was the reflection. Yeah, that you can see this pillar is lighting up red because of the Sonic arrow. So again, keep that in mind. Do not peek at the right side here. Oh, don't pick us over. Okay, that's good. This is fine as well, I suppose. Okay, timing's good. Your Malgo's going in, so timing's good so far. Okay, I don't mind you playing this aggressively because you've got duplicate, so that's fine. You can bomb it down. That's okay. I try and sticky a little bit later again because it's going to be easy hits. Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay. I'm not too unhappy with that, to be honest. I think the only thing I'd say here is I wish you duplicated earlier, so we're able to nade the Sim and the Zarya potentially, rather than, again, just the Ana. Because right now, who are your entire team aggressing onto?
The Sim and the Zarya.
Right, so again, you're way too tunneled on trying to get the kill onto the Ana, instead of playing for duplicate value and actually just nading the Zarya and the Sim. Which, funnily enough, would have been mechanically easier to do, and it would have gotten you more value because you're going for a target that the rest of your team is aggressing on, rather than trying to again do or win some niche side duel onto an Ana. It's not like you're not doing nothing here. Like you are zoning away 3 people here, so again you are getting value for this. But yes, again just a little bit inefficient here with how you use your nade. Okay. Okay. Flying back into Ray's fine. Okay, cool. Okay. Where can you... Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. I was just gonna say, where can you flank to? Like after the war goes down.
I feel like the left or the right
Right,
have been good
so
options.
this would be a really good flank to take in the mid fight. Now it's a bit sad that you get domed here. Honestly, not too much outplay potential that you could have had here. I think really it's the mistakes or the plays leading up to this that are kind of the key killer. Because again, had you naded the Symmetra, or had you gone for the Zarya, or had you again just go for the enemy frontline with nade, they probably die, or the Symmetra probably dies, and then you've never got to worry about the sim wall or a repush from the enemy team here. So yeah. Okay, we'll look at this last fight. I mean, they're probably gonna push us all the way.
Taking flight.
Probably. Yeah. A little bit rough here. Going on Mercy's, that's fine. Yeah, this is gonna be a messy last fight here, so it's nothing crazy. Okay, we'll watch a little bit of attack here, and do a quick summary at the end.
Honestly, you might wanna
Ready for
just skip this. Like our team kind of like fell apart. Like they got really mad and stuff.
Is there nothing like crazy in this of the game here?
Actually, maybe there is. Yeah, you can page shoot.
Oh, okay, we'll skip to like a random point now, I guess.
Yeah, I think we got really like, we got stuck.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just fight, I guess, and then we'll do a quick summary. Now you go to PKO again. Okay. Okay. Sure. Fine, you can DP that, sure. Okay, good rotation there, looking for the Mercy. Again, good flank. It's been unfortunate if someone dies there. Okay, speed it up.
30 seconds
Okay.
Let's try something.
Yeah, so what's the issue with this?
I mean, this is very much like a 1%. Like, yeah, I just saw that she was standing still.
Let's try something.
Yes.
Also, she could just like translocate out of the sticky, right? Like,
Yeah, so my main concern isn't even like the stickies and that is part of it, right? Don't get me wrong. But another part of it is this is entirely unscouted. I've got no idea where the enemy team are playing. I've got no idea where your team are playing right now. To me, this looks too early. Now, fortunately, both teams are fighting down main here, so the timing ends up being okay. But again, like you've got no idea of that going on here. So the timing is what's a bit scary here for me at least. Stickies are like whatever, like your flight's ending. Okay.
Adaptive
Also
circuits
duplicates.
engaged.
You're gonna get cooked. And so the timing there was just too early. Like let your team walk a little bit. Like now maybe you can like pressure this angle here maybe. And then when your team gets Tsunes, or when your team walks forward here for sure, then you can like fly around and do some like crazy stuff with duplicate. But that was really unscouted and unplanned. What really should have gone on here is you look to duplicate the enemy Ana, you just nade the front line again, and then you win the fight, right? Or you nade down the enemy Ana, or you nade whoever's killable here basically. And then again, probably the Sojourn is the most killable person here, and that would allow your team to actually walk forward. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that again, because it was unscouted, that's never gonna happen. Only good thing about this is that you draw attention, which allows the team to walk temporarily. Again, you don't need to fly away here. Right? You're what? You've got full HP here basically, with full cooldowns. If that Sombra goes onto you, you will kill her. You will force Chanticate. She cannot duel you here. You will win. And also there's a Mercy behind you, to mention. But regardless, again, the idea here is that you don't need to leave this angle. You can keep it. It is safe for you to keep this angle. Yeah. Okay. I think 6 is fine. Mercy's like coming down from fucking Guardian Angel, so that's 6 is fine. Beam not so much. Okay. Yeah, one thing I've seen is that you're very tunneled on getting kills. Right, like as long as you can zone the Mercy away, like look what's going on around you. Like this is a very easy beam on a wrestle here. Just pay attention to what's going on around you if you can't get a kill. Don't be so tunneled on getting kills. Zoning or zoning's a really important thing. It's something we haven't talked about that much. But if you can draw away attention or force players to back up, that's more than enough value. Because that means that if you can force the Mercy and the Honor to walk backwards, that means these guys, down main, are punishable. And you can punish that with Beam here. So, again, keep that in the back of your mind. Whenever you see someone being zoned away, or if you see someone that's playing too far, like their Honor's the Honor's done that a lot this game, then you are able to punish the front line. You haven't always got to get kills here on Echo. Okay. Like, oh my days. Iris has actually not been alive for that long. Okay, I think this is just micro with shots here. Not gonna care about that too much. Okay. Whatever, right?
I think I got a bit angry here.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, we'll do a quick summary here at the end. We'll use this wall. So I think first thing has to be like keeping or playing aggressive but safe positions in the mid fight. And again, things that contribute to your safety are cover, distance, the mobility of their comp too. I'll just call this mobility. Those are really the main things. And actually have an escape as well. Having an escape option. I have full rules of positioning generally, which is again cover, distance, line of sight, and rotation options. That kind of links into this idea here too. But yeah, like that's kind of the main thing is that you can get away with a lot more than you're bargaining for by looking to play these aggressive but safe positions. You haven't got to leave down main, and actually, it's putting yourself at more danger by doing it. So yeah, I think again, examples would be first fights or first point defense. I mean, what else? Oh yeah, on the Honor, second point defense, the Honor. Well, you got a great flank, but again, you were too close with no distance and no cover. Second point defense was the Honor. It's another example of this, and we've seen more throughout the entire game as well. Second thing I'd say is sticky discipline. Again, should be easy to work on. But often using it too far away. So hard hit. And then that's really it with stickies, to be honest. I actually don't mind you like not hitting all your stickies isn't necessary. I think I'll try shot him as well, which is like pace your for now, just so you can get the rhythm of it. Again, I think an example of that would have been the Symmetra on first point defense, where she was walking in a straight line and you missed most of your shots. And then third thing is, I mean, your timing is pretty good. I guess it's like the beams were fine. Yeah, I guess it's like the mindset of the character of Echo. What I mean by that is like thinking of duplicates or having a plan with duplicates. Having a plan with it. Planning flanks, stations. That do, and then also thinking about escapes. If needed.
Yeah, actually, I have a question about that. Like I'm used to playing like I played a good amount of Tracer, and like with Tracer, it's like I always have the recall to like get out or like to press when it's like I'm no longer safe
Right.
and there's no other options. But with like Echo, I know she is like does have like a sort of similar like you want to go for backline and like from the side a little bit. I mean, is that true?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's kind of true. I mean, I guess like the not differentiator, but the key thing you need to keep in mind with Echo is that your flight is really your get out of jail free card really most of the time. Even though it's not as good as a dash, right? I think an example of that would have been like second point defense right here, where again you were dueling the or having a choice between dueling the Honor and the Hanzo, and either option, either flying to here to where no one can really contest you, or saving your flight and then peeking the angle here, trying to Duke Sleep Dart, and then burning the Hanzo if needed. Like those are all again aggressive but safe plays for different reasons. Again, if you're by flying over here, it's aggressive but safe because you've got distance, you've got cover, nobody can reach you, and you can escape by de-peeking. This is also aggressive but safe because you still got your flight, so you can escape back, and you still have the same principles about distance and cover. So that's how I would like think about or consider it: is where can I move to that safe? How can I push my aggression safely? How can I duel the Hanzo? How can I duel the Honor safely? Can I peek this without getting slept? Or stuff like that. Really, it's gonna come. A lot of it will come. The safety part will come down to micro. What I'll say.
Okay.
Again, that comes down to flight, as I just mentioned, but also the cover distance and stuff that I mentioned in the first point too. Even on Tracer as well. Like, yeah, you do have the recall to be able to get out of sticky situations, but just because you have recall, or just because you can recall, doesn't mean you always should. Just because you can recall doesn't excuse your uptime being 5 or 10 seconds. Like, you become blinking 3 times, and then you get your recall forced out immediately. Like, it's still really important on
like,
Tracer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like with Tracer, I always like I kind of wrote it down as like I would set up using my blinks, like wait a little bit till I had
Right.
enough to like do whatever I get as much as I can, and then as soon as like I'm being like pressured or forced out, that's when I use recall.
Right,
But with
right.
like Echo, I kind of don't have that like framework of what I'm supposed to be doing because I have the flight, which is like you're saying is my get out, but it's also like how do I set up with like in the right positions? Would I also set up using flight and then just like kind of like wait enough time to where I will have it back when I need it?
Right. Like, if you are using flight to set up, it needs to be like, if I use flight to get to this angle, can I be punished? Right. And again, this example here is kind of exemplifies that, because you can't, right? You can't really be punished for this. Ana can't magically fly to you. She can't. It's going to be hard for her to hit the sleep dart because of the cover. These guys can't magically fly to you either. If Hanzo Wall comes to you, he's dumb because you cannot duel him. So it's stuff like that that's like really, I guess, key or important. I guess as well, the helipad idea is also important here, where you're using flight to sort of duel the Symmetra here, but you're also using flight to sort of, hey, like towards the tail end of my flight, I can actually go back to high ground, or I can actually fly back in a safe position here, and stuff like that. So it's a bit of both, really.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that the key ideas in the first point are really what's gonna make it. But yeah, have you got any other questions as well?
No, that's pretty much it.
Alright, cool. Well, yeah, I've recorded the session so you can rewatch it in your spare time, and